Well, we have spent a lot of money, or at least a lot of money for Barnsley Football Club. Welcome back to our Fm22 Journeyman, where we attempt to go from non-league football to winning the Champions League. Since you were last with me, we've played some more matches, but more importantly, we've spent some more money. Let's have a look at the transfers we did during the January transfer window. So I'll have a look at the outs first. There are two main ones. The first one is Kohassi, which I don't think had happened last episode. He's gone to St Trinidad for 4.1 million, so he's over in Belgium. Bit of a loss for us, but he wanted to go. We were happy to let him leave for that amount of money. We've also actually sold Andriy Zelezko, who was the Ukrainian goalkeeper we brought in last season for 2.2 million. He never actually played for us, but we have made a profit on him. Sold him to Brighton for 4.8 million, which in the grand scheme of things, he wasn't first team ready, is quite a good deal. The other main player leaving the club is Robert Bozanic. Again, not one who'd been with us too long. He obviously joined us on a free last season, played 31 games last season, but not a lot this season. And he has gone to Colo Colo in Chile for 3.2 million. So we've made a nice bit of profit on him as well. What this did do was free up a lot of transfer budget and a lot of wages for us. And I wouldn't say we've rebuilt the squad, but we have tried to build it with one eye turned towards the future. So let's have a look through these transfers then. So first off, Philip Müller is a 19-year-old goalkeeper. We bought him over from Austria. No, he was on loan at Austria. We bought him from Wolfsburg in Germany. That was what was confusing me. But he's not great at the moment. He is a National League standard player. He could end up eventually being a championship level player. But for 450,000, he's very much one. Get him in and hopefully make a profit on him, because there doesn't seem to be many great goalkeepers around ever on FM. Our next one is Tom Holmes. Now, Tom Holmes is 25 years old. We brought him in from Crystal Palace for £7 million. He's had a pretty good start to life over at Barnsley. As we can see, he's already 4-star. He is a leading championship player currently, with potential to be a decent Premier League player, which is exactly what we want if we are going to get promoted. No attributes are really top tier, but he is pretty good at all the attributes I would want from a centre-back. Our next transfer is Andros Inouye, a centre midfielder from Barnsley. We've paid £4.8 million for him at the moment. He's probably, again, maybe not quite the first team ready. I mean, he is a championship standard player and he is playing in the first team at the moment, but he's got a good amount of potential there and could eventually be a very good Premier League player. His first touch and his passing are amazing. We're playing him at the moment as the deep line playmaker on defend. His tackling is not great, but everything else I'd expect from a deep line playmaker is very good. His media handling style is hilarious and his personality is perfectionist, which I feel like is a decent personality. We've also brought in Hugo Bertelli. He's a French midfielder. We've brought him over from Marseille. We paid £100,000 for him. Again, one we hope to make a profit on. He's got a little bit of potential to improve, and at the moment he's just working as a squad rotation player. He's not uber important, but he'll make some appearances this season. Our big signing is George Jenkins, who, as you can see, is a Welsh striker. We brought him over from Cardiff for 14.25 million. Now, that isn't all up front. A lot of that was add-ons, but he's been brought in to be one of, if not our forever striker. Championship standard player at the moment, potential to be a Premier League standard. He's already not quite good as Clyde Munchuk, but he's decent in all areas. We'll be playing him probably as a pressing forward, but I'll explain that in a minute. He's already bagged himself a couple of goals, but I think he is definitely our striker for the future, if only because Clyde Munchuk keeps wanting to, he doesn't ask to leave, but he won't get rid of his release clause either, which kind of indicates to me that he's keeping himself a way out of the club. We've also got Miguel Salgado. He's a winger we've brought in. Again, lots and lots of potential. Only League One standard at the moment, and he could be Championship standard. It's one we'd hope to make a profit on. We've paid £975,000 to bring him to the club. I think with a fairly professional personality and some good attributes already, he could be one again that we make a little bit of money on in the future. We've got Joe Adams. Maybe this one isn't so much towards the future, it's just a backup for now. He can play over on that left hand side as an inverted winger or an inside forward. He's probably better as an inverted winger, but we paid 200,000 for him to come in and be a backup. He's actually started quite well, 3 appearances, a goal and an assist with a 7.2 rating. We also bought this guy. I say we bought this guy, I made a bid for him ages ago and then the transfer didn't go through because of his age, etc, etc, and I forgot he existed. Dante Ulloa has come over to us, as you can see, from Allianz in Peru, which is a really weird place for me to be finding a player, but my scouts went and found him. He's on loan at Notts County at the moment. Again, probably one we make a little bit of a transfer profit on. We've got him on a free, so can't complain too much about that. He could potentially be a championship player. He'll definitely be worth more than 3. And our final signee is a loan. It's Ed Malyon. He's come over from Manchester City. Now, of course, he is a loan, which means I cannot see him in my squad. Such a frustrating thing to have happen. Again, he's probably going to be playing in that pressing forward role, so we'll have a look at him as a pressing forward. He's quite decent. He's got good finishing, good first touch. His physicals are relatively good as well. 16 balance standing out there. His strength isn't great, but then he is only 18 years old. We've agreed he's going to be an impact sub as well, so there's going to be no complaints about playing time. 3 appearances and a goal so far with an average rating of 7.17 is quite good. The last matches we would have seen would have been the matches against Crystal Palace and Reading. We then played the replay against Crystal Palace where we got battered 4-0. We played against Middlesbrough where we got battered 3-0. We then played against Swansea that we drew 0-0. We played against Hull. We lost 2-1. The month of February was a little bit better. We haven't been beaten now in the 5 games. The last couple I mean, this one was quite high scoring, a 5-4 win against Peterborough, which is slightly ridiculous. And then Bristol City, we've just beaten 2-0. Today, we've got rivals Sheffield United and first place Wolves as our 2 matches. As a result of bringing all those players in, we have changed our tactic as well. We've gone to a 4-2-4. My reasoning for that is we have a lot of good players up front and we're struggling to find left wing backs or right wing backs. So a flat back 4 now with 2 up front. Our lineup for today is Zingerl in goal, back 4 of Braddock, Holmes, Braithwaite and Godwin Malief. In midfield it is Anouai and Blinkhorn. We then got Notto out on the wing alongside Bakuna on the other wing, and up front we've got Clive Munchuk starting today alongside Loney Malayon. We will probably manage to get Jenkins onto the field as well. Obviously we want to be playing him as much as possible because although Malayon is quite good, he isn't one of our players, and of course Jenkins is our striker as I've said I'd like to use, not for the rest of the save but hopefully for the rest of the time we have at Barnsley. I think we're either going to use him as our Premier League striker or he's going to leave for a lot of money. I'm guessing I'm okay with either if we can keep consistently finding good strikers the way we are. If you do enjoy today's episode, of course, please do drop a like down below. It is really, really helpful. And subscribe to the channel as well to check out all of the content that we are bringing you on a weekly basis. Sheffield United haven't had a great form recently. That's 2 draws and 3 losses I see. But equally, we don't win against Sheffield United. I think every time we have faced them, we have lost. Maybe today could be a little bit different. It would be nice to get one over on our rivals, and I'm not expecting us to do much in the game against Wolves, if I'm honest. For now though, let's just focus on the game as it happens. Godwin Malief here, getting that ball from the goal kick. We can launch a counter-attack here, it's just whether we can do it at any sort of pace. Inouye playing it forward for Godwin Malief now, crossing to the box. We have got there. It is a goal. It's Ed Malyon, the low knee for Man City, scoring in under a minute. I don't care. It said 1 minute and 1 second on the clock when I looked over. It was less than a minute. That is a really, really good start. And also part of the reason we're now playing 2 up top is I feel like our strength is in attack. So why not focus on that? It's great having 5 defenders, but even with 5 defenders, we can be a little bit leaky towards the back. I was just checking we are still on key highlights. That seemed like a very quick succession in highlights, but key highlights it is for the rest of today. Braddock over to Gnonto here, our other loanee from Man City. We have obviously got an affiliate link with them, which is turning out to be really, really useful. Although I must talk to their manager and see if he can send me any players that aren't invisible, because it's quite hard to manage them in training Because again, I've never seen them. I don't really know what they look like. I think they play in these positions, but I'm not entirely sure. Malayon almost getting a second there. Playing as this pressing forward alongside Kleimunchuk. Kleimunchuk obviously still banging in the goals, because why wouldn't he? Taking the corner here though into Braithwaite. But the Sheffield United goalkeeper coming out to claim that one, so we can't make anything of the corner on this occasion. We have obviously dropped out of those automatic promotion spots. I don't know if we ever were actually in them on the channel, but we were in them at some point. I just can't remember if you guys saw it on YouTube. We were in there ever so briefly. Malayon again is nicking the ball there. Oh, that deserved a better finish. Yeah, we were in the automatic promotion spots for a bit, and then obviously you saw last month, the month of February, didn't exactly gain too many points, so we have dropped out of them now, but we are still in the playoff positions, which again I feel for a side that was relegation threatened last season and asked to finish mid-table this season is pretty decent. I'm fairly happy with it. Whether we go up this season or not is another question, but at least we're making a good go of it. Kleimunchuk there with a second goal for Barnsley FC today, although it looks like our second goal is going to be offside. That's a little bit annoying. That's a bit more frustrating than I'd like it to be. That's a very narrow offside. I mean, I'll agree with it because the wiggly VAR line says so, but that was a very, very tight offside. 7 shots for us though, 1 for Sheffield United so far. Maybe this is the match where we finally beat them, although now I've said that, we're going to concede 7 goals. We are now going to concede at least 7 goals against Sheffield United. I hope we don't. That would be quite frustrating and probably quite moral destroying for the club if we concede 7 goals here. Kleimunchuk though still surging forward. Kleimunchuk again, can he get a goal here? He can get a goal here. That's going to be Barnsley's second goal of the game, and it's still Kleimunchuk, his first one not counting, but he's got a second. He's doing cartwheels. Kleimunchuk, please, dear God, stay at the club. I don't think we can afford to ever buy a striker, even if we get promoted, of your quality. I'm looking at our transfer budget for next season, and it's going, yeah, it'll be a bare minimum of £850,000. That is not a lot of money to strengthen the squad. I am noticing we seem to be getting yellow cards left, right and centre here. Although, obviously, as you can see, my normal instruction do have a few of my players with the instruction to tackle harder when they're in those positions. We're doing really, really well though. We've been far the better team. We're going to keep showing why we're far the better team with this corner that's happening very, very quickly straight into the second half. Malayon's got his second of the game. This is why we're playing with 2 strikers, purely because I've got 3 very, very good strikers in Kleimunchuk, in Malayon and in Jenkins. We've also got Notto, who can play up front as well, who's very capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. He does it on a regular basis from that left-hand side. He doesn't do it as quite a regular basis if you put him up front, bizarrely. But we do know he can score goals, so we've got 3 at maybe 4, depending on how you want to look at it, but we've got players that can play up front, so why not play 2 of them? Kleimunchuk again through on goal here, just to emphasize my point of why we are playing those 2 strikers that I was in the midst of explaining. That's 2 for each of our strikers today. Who is going to be the first one to get the hat-trick, guys? I feel like one of you at this point needs to go and do it. If you don't, fine, but I feel like someone should. Malayon, the one there, laying it on the absolute plate. It's a platter for Kleimunchuk to feast upon and stick away. The 4th goal for Barnsley. Oh, and we're finally going to see a Sheffield United attack. Here come those 7 goals I mentioned. Are we winning on YouTube? No. Something needs to go wrong here. I would assume that will probably be, at this point, the match against Wolves. I can't see us doing quite as well in that match, purely because Wolves have been dominant. Absolutely the dominant force in the championship this season in the league. Kleimunchuk has been brought down. Nothing happening though. Malayon is going to be the first one to get the hat-trick. That is his 3rd goal. 4th goal of his Barnsley career. 3 of them happening today against Sheffield United. I mean, if you want to endear yourself to the fans, putting 3 past your rivals that you never ever win against, probably a pretty good way to do it, I would say. Malayon, absolutely fantastic today. There's him ticking over into that 10 rating. And with what I assume now is a fairly guaranteed win, we will make some substitutions. We're going to bring Joe Adams on for Notto because he's on a yellow card and he is also looking quite tired, and we probably need to switch up our midfield a little bit here as well. Oakley Booth can come on for Blinkhorn, and we'll just leave those two for the moment. We'll make a third one before the game ends, of course, but there's no rush to do that. McNair with a free kick here for Sheffield United, but never ever troubling Zingerl there. That wasn't even close to the goal, was it? Kleimunchuk looking tired now, so that is going to be our opportunity to bring on George Jenkins, our record signing at the club. That was a really good tackle. Fortunately, it fell straight to a Sheffield United player. I mean, clean sheet bonuses. Sorry, guys, you're not going to be having them for today. That is slightly unfortunate because we got back there, put in a really good tackle from Braderick, but it's just fallen really badly for us. Sheffield United managing to at least pull one back. Again, I'd still assume we are going to be winning this match. Jenkins now is on the field with Kleimunchuk giving way to him. I don't know if he'll be annoyed or not because he was technically, if he put another one in, he'd be on a hat-trick as well. Doesn't actually look like. We're going to see a lot of Jenkins. We are going to end the match without seeing Jenkins touch the ball. Never mind, I swear he is better than that when I've seen him play. He isn't, no, playing as well at the moment as Malayon. So regardless of the fact that Malayon's on loan and I want to play Jenkins because he's our player and obviously I want to focus on his development. If Malayon's going to be playing like that, I don't really have a lot of choice but to play him. And with that as well, we'll give the aforementioned Malayon a little bit of a pat on the head, tell him how well he's doing. Right, 6 days away from now, though, we've got a match against Wolves, so we probably need to get to that one. Can we get anything against them? They are substantially higher up the league than us. They are running away with the league at this point. But if we want to get into those automatic promotion spots, probably do need a win against them. Well, we are making absolutely no changes for the match against Wolves because when you've just put 5 past Sheffield United, why would you make any changes? Worrying fact, I'm starting to see players wanted by other clubs again. Huddersfield want Zingerl, Godwin Malif wanted by Cardiff and Sunderland, Bakuna wanted by Tenerife, Bournemouth, St Etienne, Rangers and Hearts all want Kleimunchuk. That moderately concerning because I do not have the wage budget to give him the wage that he wants. He came and he was willing to open contract talks. He even let me get rid of his release clause momentarily. But he wants quite a lot of money, and I don't have the money to give him, which makes the contract talks quite difficult. I mean, it doesn't make them difficult, actually. That's a bit of a lie. It makes them quite easy. He goes, can I have this much money? And the board go, you can offer him 10 to 15,000 less than that as an absolute maximum, which I then offer him, and he swears at me lots and leaves. That's basically how the contract negotiations are going. They're not actually that difficult. There's no wiggle room from either party. I literally cannot put any more budget into the wage budget to offer him any more money, which is very, very unfortunate, especially when he's just come up from my assistant manager who's gone, hey, he's a Premier League player at the moment. He is playing at that level. He's probably not going to improve a lot more. But I think if we got to the Premier League now, we would be all right. We have just put one past Wolves early. Notto there from the left wing. That was a really good cross in. Was that Godwin Malif again? I'm pretty sure it was him last match as well that put that cross in that led to the opening goal. It is Godwin Malif again putting that one in front of Notto to just knock home. Super simple goal. But I'm absolutely happy with it. It's a really good cross. It's nice to see Godwin Malif playing well because he had a bit of a torrid time for a few matches where he wasn't fantastic. Braderick's just got a yellow card. I do want to tell him to ease off tackles very quickly before Wolves score a goal. And just get that in because if I do it in between highlights, I'll forget because I'll be talking to you guys and I'm basically Dory. But Wolves on the attack here. Hopefully we can... yeah, no, we've managed to do it. I was going to say hopefully we can do something to stop them scoring. We've just about done it. They are coming on quite strong here by the looks of those match stats. But we are the ones in front at the moment. Kleimunchuk to Godwin Malif over to Inuai. He's tried to play that one forward to Kleimunchuk. He's managed to get it back. Malayon now with the ball over to Notto. Back into Malayon. Malayon scores a second. We're 2-0 up against Wolves. We are 2-0 up against first in the league Wolves. Is this going to be the first episode where we've actually won both matches with Barnsley? I have a feeling it might be. Have we won 2 before? I mean, opening games in our first season where we beat Blackpool 4-0. I think we might have won both games, but I don't remember if we did it since then. We have a really bad habit of coming onto YouTube and forgetting how to play football completely. So coming here, if we can win against Wolves, would be massive. Not only because it's on YouTube and it would be nice to have a couple of wins, but also because, again, they're first in league. Munchuk here getting onto the end of that very long ball forward. And Bakuna's been brought down in the box. Munchuk now has a chance to put us 3-0 up and get himself on the score sheet. His penalty taken, as I mentioned before, not very good. I'm going to say it again as he takes this one because I know that he can hear me. I'm assuming he's got an earpiece in or he's sentient or something. But if I ever say he's not good at something, he tends to do it. So that is where you go, you're not very good at penalties, and he just slots it home. I mean, the goalkeeper got close to that one, to be fair. The goalkeeper was close to that one, but it doesn't matter. It went in the back of the net. We are currently 3-0 up against Wolves. They're still 6 points ahead of us, even with us beating them 3-0, but we are 3-0 up against Wolves. Abraham. What Abraham is this? Is this the Abraham? This can't be Tammy Abraham. We're in 2026. There's no way this is Tammy Abraham, right? Absolutely not. The guy would have to be 146. It's Palos Abraham. Thank you. You scored a goal just long enough that I could see your name without having to click on it. It has been disallowed, though. I'm assuming for offside. Yeah, that is the tightest of tight offsides. He can probably feel a little bit hard done by there because that is really, really tight call. VAR coming into effect there because there's no way an assistant referee saw that with the blind eye. Going into the second half, 3-0 up though, I don't really feel the need to tinker with anything here too much. Wolves are having shots. They have got more possession than us, which is a bit annoying because I think Sheffield United also had more possession than us. The moment I'm not playing really, really short, low tempo football, we stop controlling possession. There is really not a lot going on in this half as well. I don't know if we've kind of shut up shop. We shouldn't have done. But it does look like we have. Notto's pretty tired. Bakuna and Blinkhorn all looking a little bit knackered. Blinkhorn still has no engine to him. Oakley Booth can come on for him. Notto, again, probably does need to come off. So we'll bring on Joe Adams on that side. Question mark? Yeah, let's bring on Joe Adams. And those can be the 2 substitutions, which I believe are the same 2 substitutions we made first against Sheffield United. But it seems to always be the same couple of players that are tired. They are both pretty young. I think Notto's like 23, which you'd assume his lungs are fairly fully developed. So I don't know why he's getting so tired all the time, but they don't seem to have much stamina. So Blinkhorn in particular is always tired before the end of a match, so you automatically know you're going to have to be substituting him. Tom Holmes there went in with both feet, question mark. Is he going to get a red card? Tom Holmes is going to get a red card. That makes things a little bit more difficult for the rest of the match. And I guess with this, we have to take off one of our strikers. We'll take off Malayon, I guess, and leave Munchuk up there as the sole striker. We'll bring on Joe Worrell there. So we have got 4 defenders because I don't really want to leave us without 4. And we'll drop to cautious. I don't want to drop any lower than a cautious. We're 3-0 up. Munchuk with a corner here. Braithwaite putting us 4-0 up. Now, we again should be pretty assured here, you would think, of winning this match now, regardless of Holmes's red card. 4-0 up, 14 to 15 minutes to go here. We should be golden. Braithwaite, that was a really good header, to be fair. He doesn't seem to get many off of corners, which is a little bit annoying. As a centre-back, and the ball consistently hitting his head. You'd think he'd be putting a few more in, but he did today, which is the most important thing right in a minute. And the most important thing right this second as well is we scored 9 goals in this episode, which is insane. Obviously, with 2 up top, we expect to score a few more goals, but it seems to have particularly come together this episode because I changed it a few matches ago and it hadn't made this much of an impact. We have, however, just conceded another goal. although it doesn't seem to be catching it in the match engine, which is a little strange. Had Wolves not scored yet? Is that Wolves' first goal? Oh yeah, the first one was disallowed. Okay, so it has counted it. I just can't count past one. Apparently, maths is difficult. Wolves, once again here, I say on it, they've got a set-piece free kick. They almost make something of it. We have only got 10 minutes to hold out. We are going to get a bit battered here by Wolves for the next 10 minutes plus injury time, I think. And I really hope we can hold out, because if we don't win now from 4-0 up, that is a massive, massive collapse. You would think we'd be able to do it at this point. I have played enough Football Manager with enough slightly dodgy defensive teams to know that that's not always the case though, and we have just conceded a second. Oh my god, I'm going to drop to defensive. We are obviously down to 10 men, but we did have a 4-goal lead. Please don't throw that away now. We have got a free kick here. Bakuna taking this one. Is he just going to swing it into the far post? He is. Kleimunchuk's there. Kleimunchuk at the far post. His 29th goal of the season. We're in March. He's going to be over 30. He's only going to score one more goal. I nearly have hit his 30 for the season, which a 30 a season goal scorer. I don't remember having those for a little while. It's been a while. 5-2 up now though. Game has got to be over. We have to be winning this one. We have won this one. A 5-2 win. That is absolutely amazing. I know I downplayed this one a little bit at the start of the episode. I genuinely thought we'd struggle against Wolves here, and we didn't make it easy getting that red card, but 5-2 against Wolves. It now puts us 4 points outside of the automatic promotion spots as well. West Ham, obviously, the main team in front of us. And I'm not sure when we play them next. I have a feeling it's quite close to the end of the season. I mean, it is close to the end of the season, but equally, it's not that far away because we're in March. So it's actually only 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 games away. So we will definitely come back on Saturday for West Ham and Ipswich. I'd imagine we'll play West Ham first. Hopefully, we're still in good enough form. The beating West Ham would allow us to leapfrog them and get into those automatic promotion spots. Well, it has been a goal-filled episode. We ended up scoring 10 goals across those 2 matches. We conceded 3. Is a pretty good display all around, I think. If you have enjoyed it, please do consider dropping a like down below on a video and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the rest of this season. We're in fantastic form. We are pushing for promotion, and eventually that Champions League dream probably won't be with Barnsley, but we will eventually win it. Until next time though guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you on Saturday. Until then, if you want to check out some more content on the channel, have a look at this video next.